Patriots, and welcome to the Q Lounge Live. Hi, I am your host, Shady Groove, joined by my co-host at In the Matrix. This is the In the Matrix with 3 X's YouTube channel. How's everybody doing tonight? It's just after 7 p.m. on the East Coast, 7 p.m. on the West Coast, 10 p.m. on the East Coast. Hope everybody had an amazing week. I really appreciate all the feedback that we are getting. We had an extraordinarily busy week. I want to thank everybody for coming around and joining us on the lounge. Please feel welcome to come in, sit down, chat with the mods, chat with each other, share with each other. This is our circle. This is where we come together to make sure everyone is on the same page and that we're all fighting with the same spirit and keeping our eyes on the target, guys. This was a pretty incredible week out there. I'd like to say first, right up front, if you are new to Q, welcome. Thanks for joining us. If you have found this movement and you think that it is interesting, then we are excited to have you, and we appreciate questions and we appreciate you asking things about legitimacy. If we are not turning off to questions, we want to show people things that we have learned, and that is our ultimate objective here. The moderators are amazing here. They come to us with all the great work we do from the Patriots United Discord, and so it's just lovely to see so much activity out there, so much lovely, great people and activity coming over to the website and helping us out and sharing with us. Matrix, how are you doing, sir? We have been on a tear, my brother.
Wow, it's been an amazing week. Just an amazing time to be alive. Hello, YouTube. Hello, Periscope. How are you all doing this evening? Shady, we're doing another Q Lounge Live. It must be Friday.
It must be Friday, and all of the Q people are over here hanging with us, and we are humbled and great, really just overwhelmed, actually, with what's going on and the amount of people that are asking questions out there, Matrix. We had a pretty exciting week. We not only were on the air on the Matrix Groove Hour this week, which we're really starting to enjoy during the day. We also were able to join Tori from Tori Says on Red State Radio the other day. And the exciting news this week, Tori was able to get us a little spot on the billboard in Times Square, Matrix. That is pretty incredible. We were both pretty much shot out of a cannon the other day paying attention to that. I thought that was stellar, and we're going to go into that here in a little bit and show you some of that stuff. But also, we were on IRL last night, an extensive show on the Trust the Plan thread, and lots of eyes are opening on this stuff, and we got to dissect that on a very, very thorough level. I love that people allowing us to come on and speak the things that we want to talk about, the things that we think are important. They're not trying to direct the conversation in any overtly negative way. So that really makes me happy to see how open they are with allowing us. We're letting folks know if we go on the air, we're going to speak. You can't tell us what we cannot talk about. When we come on here, no one is telling us what we cannot talk about. That's why things are different. If you watch Fox News, if you watch those other news channels, they make fun of people who have questions about 9/11, and they make fun of people who have questions about vaccinations, and they belittle people who think thoroughly and truthfully about what's really going on in our world. So that's kind of what Q means by "you are the news now." That means Anons out there are the news now. And if you feel inspired to pick up a microphone or to pick up an iPad or something and start writing a book, you should. And we're here to encourage that as much as we possibly can.
And I want to welcome Solace here from Sol means. Oh my gosh, she makes me laugh. She's in the chat right now as people. Hello. Do memes like her. Oh my gosh, she makes me laugh so much. Did you guys see the Pope's tweet? She's asking. I have not yet, but we'll check it out. Also, real quick, want to mention that the IRL Trust the Plan thread is on In the Matrix with 3x's.com in the carousel. It didn't get, it went all over the place. Memphis radio station, thank you. So that was awesome. Saul, thank you very much. I'm a big fan, huge fan.
I'd
love to have you come on the lounge sometime, maybe too, Saul. Would you think about doing that?
Bring her in a second to sit on the Q couch and maybe give some people a little insight in how you do those brilliant memes, man. Oh my goodness! Right? I mean, it's so great because this movement has learned to communicate in this unusual way. The deep state kind of thought you would only talk to each other through typing, but we have come to find out the use of the memes and the GIFs are just amazing. How a short little message can really red pill a lot of people. And that's another thing I would like to say real quick, Matrix. I have been reading some amazing stories from our website and in direct messages. People are what? I'll tell you what people are. People are excited because they are red pilling their friends, and they are doing it all over the place. I'm hearing it over and over again. You guys are telling us your stories. You're coming to the website and you're posting your stories, and it's just amazing to see how excited people out there are getting whenever they are actually able to show someone who's interested in something the perspective that the narrative might be a lie. And if once you step toe in that water, ladies and gentlemen, and you convince somebody that the narrative just might be a lie, well, that's a rabbit hole that you know and I know and we all know you don't ever really come back out of. You stay there and you learn some truth. And man, the Q Project, Anons, Patriots worldwide coming together in the spirit of love, in the spirit of truth, in the spirit of life, light, and happiness. That is what we are bringing here. That's the message that we have in our hearts, and that's the message that I feel and we all think that the president has, and we're following him 5-5 loud and clear all the way to Vietnam this week and back. Little bit of deep state trolling going on there. Here I've got the website up. You guys are seeing the front page of our website scrolling there. Right there you see the Q in Times Square. Thank you so much to Red State Radio and Tori Says. Having us on the air, letting us
that cost a fortune.
Yeah, Shady. And we're getting the trolls out there that are telling you that this is this is excessive expenditures. I would like to let people know that this was because of the appearance that we did. This was a free advertisement for Q and QAnon and for Red Pills. This was something that Tory and Red State Radio were very gracious to do, and they did get a decent amount of pushback out there from mainstream people who were not too happy about there being a fiery Q in the belly of the beast in Times Square this week. So that is a large part of the winning that I wanted to share with you today and to start with, because that was an exciting moment where I could not sit still. I literally was frantic and I was pacing. I was like, wow, is this really getting ready to happen? And then we had someone from the city send us in the video. So just amazing stuff going on this week. So if you're not over at In the Matrix with 3X's, please come to the site. Join us on the QSN. This is the only social network on the net that is powered by red pilled anions, and that's who's there, and that's who's joining us. And we are having discussions that are outside the purview of the people on Twitter and Facebook. Just to give you a little bit of history here on something like that, we used to go to websites. Now you go to social media sites. Now your Twitter is literally directed through what? It's directed through Twitter. All the information that we're posting on Twitter directed through Twitter. Websites are different. Back in the past, before Facebook and Twitter and stuff, we were able to chat on websites with each other in real time, and that is what we're attempting to set up over here. And this is, part of the way that we're going to bring people to the conversation, and also part of the way that we're going to have a little spot in case the deep state goes off of the edge and just decides to throw everybody off of there. Because let me tell you, they're getting closer and closer to that reality, and we're going to go into a long discussion here in just a little bit about all of that. It really is pretty incredible with this list that's come out, with Matrix being on this list. We went over some of the stuff on the Matrix Groove Hour earlier, and pretty incredible here. So real quick, I'm going to go into a little something, guys. And Matrix, I'm going to just kind of talk here, and I'm gonna let this little graphic here play, in this little video here play in the background while I go over some stuff with you guys that you may or you may not know is going on in your country right now. Right now, what you're seeing here is you're going to watch this little couple-minute video in the background, and this is going to show you, since 2010, what has actually occurred on your global brand ranking. Okay, this is from 2010, starting with Coca-Cola being the number one on the list, and you're going to see this go through up until 2018 or 2019 or so. But this is compelling right here. I'm going to drop this link so that you guys can see it. But this is extremely important for multiple reasons. But one thing that is over the top here, in my opinion, is this conversation that we're having about socialism. And then that conversation is coming to your front door. Every single candidate on the left is promoting this idea of healthcare for everybody, this idea of this Green New Deal where we're going to redo every single building in America. The airplane travel is not going to be the same. This conversation is happening, and pretty much everybody on the left is agreeing with this. Now, they're going to tell you, the pundits that are talking on TV are going to tell you, oh, well, this is just crazy stuff and it's here for negotiation. Let me tell you something. Your republic is under attack right now. Now, there are currently 11 states, including Colorado. Colorado might have actually been the 12th state that is now, including 4 or 5 states on the East Coast, that has now agreed to hook or attach the vote of the popular vote in America to their electoral college votes. Now, as you see this graph going up, we're almost to 2016, and you can see where we're at with Amazon, Google, Microsoft, IBM, all of these quote-unquote deep state companies that we know were built by you with your money to spy on you, okay? So this is the run-up. This is what you've seen. This is how this has happened in the background without anybody really paying attention. But all of these companies have a hard left-leaning ideology. And that's just understood. Whether it be Bezos with the Washington Post, whether it be Google and Eric Schmidt, whether it be, Amazon or Google, it doesn't matter. Facebook, it doesn't matter. These are the same companies being run by a deep state operation to spy on you and collect all your data and sell it. If you have, right now, and what I was just saying, the Electoral College, there's 172 Electoral College votes now under this regime. Okay? Now, what does this mean? This means that what? That I am on the West Coast and I don't vote for 3 hours later. My polls don't close until 3 hours after the posts on the East Coast close. Okay? But what? I'm waiting on what happens on the West Coast to decide what the votes are on the East Coast for the popular vote to come in after what? Hawaii is done voting? What is it? What is this conversation that we're actually having? I'm talking 172 electoral votes have now working on passing and or have passed, and Colorado just did. And the people of these states, you have to understand what this means. This is not willy-nilly stuff here. I've said this before on the Q Lounge and talking to people and stuff. I say this whenever I was first out of high school, and maybe people out there who have people that are in college and stuff, you need to be having this conversation with them. But whenever I came out of high school, I was not a fan of the Electoral College. I had been sort of taught in school that the Electoral College was archaic, okay? And I espoused to that coming up before I was, quote, red-pilled. Not too long after getting out of high school and becoming red-pilled, I learned that the Electoral College was very, very important. And once you study the Constitution, you learn it is extraordinarily important. It literally is everything, okay, to hold our republic together. And that means that each state, no matter how many people are in the state, has a same voice, okay, has the ability to have the same voice per that state. If we allow the majority on the coasts in these jurisdictions and districts to maintain a popular vote majority, you saw what happened in the last election of where the popular vote. Look at how many illegal votes were cast. Look at how they think that they can control the election. Look at how they push the narrative that, oh, illegal people are discriminated against, or you don't need to have an ID to vote. This is malarkey of the largest quantity, okay, for all of you out there living in these states. I cannot stress enough, coming from me to you, from my heart to your heart, to recognize and to red pill people on the importance of the Electoral College in your state, and realize that what is happening is that the states that are doing this are giving your voice to other people. Simple. It is not complicated. You are handing your voice over to people in other districts and in other areas of the country. Maybe they're similar to you, maybe they are not. But if we cannot point to this, and with the president pointing at everything that's going on, and show people a realistic viewpoint of how we are moving towards socialism. We are getting a really clear example right now, everyone, in Venezuela to point to of what socialism means. It means government state control over everything. And look at what you're seeing proposed on the left right now with this Green New Deal, with this healthcare for all. What a great deep state operation to inject a population with the most poisonous things on planet Earth, make them sick and disoriented, and a little bit too much on the pharmaceuticals out there mixed in, plus the other chemicals that we mix in, and then an unhealthy population that we all have to pay for what? An unhealthy end of life scenario. We have to start taking our health care on the front end. And this is my point to you. You will pay for it either way. You will pay for it either way. Either A, you will decide to shift the things that you do and the things that you consume and go to things that cost a little bit more and take a little bit better care of yourself and spend a little bit more now, and it costs you now, or you will pay for it later by consuming stuff that is not good for you in the later parts of your life. That is just reality. That is where we are at. We have got to start thinking of self-reliance. We have to start thinking of sovereign individualism. We have to start thinking in terms of I am responsible. I, Shady Groove, am responsible for all of you. I am responsible for everyone. That's the mentality I took a long time ago in my real life to understand how we're all connected with the problems of the world. We can't stand here and point to boogeymans on the left And we can't stand here and we can't point to boogeymans in Washington. And we can't stand here and point to boogeymen in the Vatican. And we can't stand here and point to boogeymen anywhere else until you have rectified and solved the boogeyman within. And that is my message. And that has always been my message from this microphone. And to you, to translate is not as easy as you may think, but to shift what you're doing in your life is not as hard as you think. And it is about taking control, and it's yes, taking a different path is more expensive. But if we are working towards what? What are we working towards? Ending the Fed. What does that mean? Our money becomes more valuable. What does that mean? We can have more for less, which means get a run and go now. Start thinking about yourself now. Start thinking about, why is it that I keep eating things that I cannot read the labels on? Why do I do that? What is monosodium glutamate? What is aspartame? Why are they shoving all of these saturated fats at me? Why is the only thing that is actually really, really good for the human form real fats? What has been ostracized, pushed aside, ignored, attempted to be avoided, to the point where you have a bill right now from the Green New Deal that is attempting to eliminate hamburgers, cows, okay? Now, this has gotten so far out of control. I have personal experience with helping people with their diets and helping people with the way they eat and what they do. I've changed the way that I eat and what I do a long time ago to become more assimilated with what it is that my light is and how my vibration and frequency work. And I can tell you that it is more than you know for your frequency whenever you consume whole, real foods, whether that be vegetables, whether that be meat, whatever it is that you think that is the right choice for you. Those things need to be thought of in a way of, where does this come from? Can I source this from someone I can meet who actually grows the vegetables that I like to consume? Is that possible? Am I at all drawn or attracted to producing something to eat for myself? It is not hard. I have a lot of experience in the permaculture reality. Some of the stuff that I want to be doing with you guys is bringing some of that information forward. But the idea of not tilling the ground and the soil and stuff, it's a lot like what we're doing here. We're working together, and we are not destroying ourselves as we work together. We have to have this conversation about these topics because of the healthcare conversation that the other side is shoving down your throat. Okay, the climate change idea, think about that. Every single candidate is on the climate change stump. That's their main thing to talk about. Their main thing they talk about is, climate change is the most dangerous thing. Look at what Q has taught you about the Paris Accord and the slush funds and what is really going on behind the scenes. Why are they so interested in looting $100 trillion and the literal future of your children, of your children's children, and of your children's children's children? We're talking $100 trillion here. That is, the U.S. economy is like 15 or 16 trillion. It goes through every year. These are astronomical numbers that people are acting like can just be created out of thin air, and it isn't true. It isn't so. So right up front, this is my message to you. Rethink some stuff. Rethink if you're out there and you have been diagnosed with something by an American Medical Association connected physician. Even if you're fighting it, one thing that you can do is to not believe them. To not believe them if they tell you can't beat it. Or to not take the victim role in your mentality as you're facing a challenge in your life, whether it be something that is going on with you, or whether it's something that's going on with your children, or something that's going on with one of your parents. Spread that message. Do not identify with a sickness like it is you. You identify as yourself, and the sickness is a symptom of what it is you should be paying attention to. And look for information out there outside of what you're being told that there's nothing you can do. And just maybe there is. And that's the message of hope, everyone. And that's how we change this conversation. And I'm very strong and I'm very adamant about that. And I'm very, very, I highly recommend you seeking out and using CBD oil and hemp oil and these different alternative things that we used to use less than 100 years ago that were very, very common for very common ailments. And now all of a sudden you have these, extraordinarily complicated chemicals that you use instead of something that cost $1 like peroxide. Do some research on what peroxide can do and what that can take away from some of the stuff that's poisoning you and contaminating you. Chemicals that are approved by the quote unquote deep state academia layer of our society. It's BS. BS. It's not safe for you. Let me pull up a picture here of your skin under a intensely magnified microscope. You're not solid. Okay, you get into a pool with chlorine in it. You're absorbing it. Take a little thing of water and pour some chlorine in it. Stick your hand down in it and look how fast that chlorine runs into your body. That they tell you that stuff's safe. Oh, you should swim in it. You should stay in the pool all day. This is garbage, guys, and this is the reason we're poisoned. This is the reason our minds are poisoned. These things are coming into us. This is the reason we're susceptible to the stuff, the stuff they're spraying on us. All of it leads back to us and us having to take responsibility for who and what we are and recognize that the cheapest thing on the shelf is not always the best thing on the shelf, everyone. And that is my really huge message that I am passionate about to bring to you tonight. Before we get into some of this other stuff here that's going on that is very important, but that also to me is very important. You guys are important to me. I feel like I have a voice someone is listening to and I have to use it to help say what it is I want to say. And that is a little bit of that. That's the big part of my rant tonight. We're going to deep dive into some of this Q stuff right here in just a second, especially this crazy stuff that's going on with this amazing list of 200 patriots that have been targeted by Hillary Clinton. Some of the people that are out there that are new to Q, I want to bring your attention back to this that happened last summer. This was a video that was taken last summer of the motorcade passing by a lot of patriots lined up here. And I watched this Matrix. Every time I watch this, I get chill bumps. I wanted to give you guys some goosebumps. So let's watch the presidential motorcade go by some awesome Q Patriots back last summer.
There's your home.
Honk for Q. MAGA. Just after that happened, maybe within like an hour or so of that happening, Q posted that, Q tagged that video back up on his post. It got posted up on the web. This was in July. For people that might be new to Q, didn't see some of that stuff, I wanted to show that again. Q did just drop that the other day. I guess it's been about a week ago now. So much has happened, Matrix. I can't keep up. But it was not that long ago. I wanted to re-show that to some people out there. And just to re-inspire you or to show you something to show other people. This is an incredible time. And if you're not taking a moment each day, and I'm doing this, and I'm taking a moment each morning, and I'm thanking myself for being here. And I don't mean here, the Q Lounge. I mean just being here. Thank yourself. Acknowledge yourself. Know that you are important and you're playing a role in this. I don't care what role it is. I don't care if it's just sitting there reading information. I don't care if it's making memes. I don't care if it's writing to your friends. I don't care if it's talking, coworkers. I don't care. Thank yourself. Take yourself seriously. You are important. You are important to all of us. All of you are. We have been taught to sell ourselves short, but we're all connected. We're all each other. We've got each other's back. And if we stand in that solidarity going through this phase, which we see coming up, Q is putting, he's giving us time now. He's giving us dates, he's giving us numbers, countdowns. Okay? Could be taken multiple ways. Could be a countdown of days until something happens. It could be a way to distract the deep state, keep them on their toes, to make them think something's coming in 18 days that might happen tomorrow. Okay? So just understand that. Stay flexible. Teach people flexibility. Teach people their beauty by reflecting to them yours. That easy. Even if they disagree with you. Even if you don't like what they're saying. Even if it irritates you. Try reflecting your beauty in that moment instead of your irritation. And look how much further you'll get. Because that person will have a hard time getting around it. Love is love is love. This is not a conversation about two different things. You have been taught that the truth and the lie are two different things. They're not. They're not two different things. What is a lie? A lie is a misrepresentation of what? The truth. So the truth is all that's there. And if truth is like a memory, and if you give yourself enough objective, neutral space, you can see it and you can show it to people. And that's the trick, being able to show it to people. And that's what we're all here to do. And that's what this unity message is here to bring. And, with that, I want to move into some of these other things and start talking about, I'm going to let this play right here. This guy was awesome. But Matrix, I want to maybe go into some of this stuff and start to talk about, we went in on the Matrix Groove Hour, a little bit of this top 200, and since then I've kind of had some other stuff here, but I want to actually get to this instead. This guy is amazing, by the way. Can't tell he's painting that upside down. But I want to get into some of this stuff in the top 200 drops and these people and some of this new information that's now coming out. The Serial Brain, guys, if you drop the Serial Brain video from today, that's extremely relevant now in the way that the decode is going and what some of these Q posts might be talking to, and how it might not just be the accounts on this top 200. Look at that with the guy. He did that in like a minute. It's awesome. But let's flip over here now. Matrix, have I got you with me, brother?
Yep, right here.
All right, man. I think I'm going to switch. I think I want to switch over here to you just a second. And I went off the rail there, bud. Appreciate you hanging out with me.
No, I enjoy it. I'm glad when you're. This is your show. I'm having fun. I love to listen to all of it. I'm having fun with the guys in chat. Mac just got here. Poussin's here. She's rocking it. Jay Vega, what's up, dude? And we got Mickey in there. Prof Q. And we got the people over in Periscope. I've just been hanging out, man. It's been really nice.
Well, that's good. Thanks so much for all the people in Periscope for joining us, and everybody on YouTube, the chat. You guys are wonderful. This is a special time. Remember to take those mental photographs every once in a while, because this is going to be something we're going to be telling lots of people about in the future. But we're going to pivot into talking about this. I think what I want to do, if you don't care, if you're ready, I want to switch this over to your screen share here real quick.
Sure. Let me cruise over there. I'm there. So
okay.
What do I need to do?
I think we're just going to go into this. If you missed the Matrix Groove Hour earlier, maybe go jump back over there after the show. Check that out. You'll get a little bit of a preliminary, but he's going to give a synopsis in the very beginning, and then we're going to look at some of these members of the top 200. This looks to be more than just a list, guys. This looks like it's actually a flow chart for people who are more important in this than others on this list. So we're digging into it a little bit. Serial Brain did some decoding here, and Matrix is going to, as soon as I get over here to him, dun, 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 you are there, brother. All right, so now Matrix is going to kind of talk on this for a second, and give you guys the 411.
Okay, yeah. So we basically figured out a little bit more on this. You know, it was kind of new. We were just freaking on the actual Serial Brain video, and then noticed that there was kind of a pattern there that Serial Brain noticed, and this is the Deep State Playbook. This is we'll link this in this video, but in the last video we did, the Matrix Grubauer, everything is linked in there as well, including the video. Christabel Case, thank you so much for that. So this is basically the deep state's new playbook that Trump had, and it basically summarized, and we know is the one on YouTube that did the video. Very, very good serial brain reader. And Q told us what was coming here. It is in order, basically the Mueller probe declassification and the OIG report and truth revealed and then justice served. It's simple, clean, and unavoidable. And Serial Brain points to 2856, Mueller, declass, OIG, truth, justice. So if you kind of keep going through this, he talks about how there was a new playbook needed, and that was actually in the Matrix right here tweet, believe it or not. And also this account became on the top 200 as well. And it says, do you believe in coincidences? Think of context, nothing to see here. But he's talking about this person, and it relates to this playbook. It's the colors of the, he related it to the colors, but I think there's even more to relate with this account here as well. But basically talking about there's a new playbook needed because the president said the Supreme Court is one of the main reasons I got elected president. I hope Republican voters and others are watching and studying the Democrats' playbook. And then this part here in the meme says the DOJ and FBI have previously informed me that release of some of this information would cross a red line. Declass FISA, RR force, red line. New playbook needed. We see you. Q. So then it's do you believe in coincidences? Nothing to think of context. Nothing to see here. So that's the maestro to the Dems. Basically, you're trying to stop the incoming declass. The new playbook used with Kavanaugh was a disgrace and a major failure. How are you going to do it this time? Lori Greenleaf, thank you so much. Appreciate that. So basically, that's what we're looking at here. Going back to the playbook. So he also Serial Brain here goes further. Very good video to watch this. If you want to read it, you can read it. If you can watch it, you can watch it. But basically, he took the you remember the picture of all of the people, the 200 people on that website that Q dropped for us, with all of us 200 on there.
Right.
So take that picture and you overlay the 2 o'clock, because there's one sentence that's bold and it has 14 and 14 million and 200, and it's like 2 o'clock somehow. Like, amazing. Serial Brain is just amazing. Much love and props to you, Serial Brain, too, if you're listening. But he basically found this Democratic playbook, and so the following images are a list of tactics. So this is how they communicate their playbook to each other, essentially, right? How they show them what they're going to do. What are the new plays? So these images are a list of tactics that the Dems plan to intend to use against Trump to stop the sequence Q process described here. Mueller, declass, OIG, truth, justice. They don't want that to happen, okay? So this is how the coded messages were extracted, and he took a couple. So I'll go back to my thread here, Shady, and go right here. And first one is division. Mind Warfare's network, thank you. The first one is division. If you look at the flag in the middle, and then over on the 2 o'clock, the 2, there's a divided state. So divided America, tear it apart. So Q post 1822, they want you divided. Divided by race, divided by religion, divided by culture, divided by class, divided by political affiliation. Divided you are weak, together you are strong. You, the people, have the power. Q. So that's divided or division, right? So division. Then you got sedition. So basically, I'm just going to show you what I'm doing. All of these right here, these are all the graphics of the playbook that Serial Brain decoded. So that's what I'm going through right now, just so you know. If you ever want to find them, obviously go to at inthematrix3x's.com. You can find it on my Twitter as well. So sedition. Sedition is the next one. It's if you look at the person, it says support our President Trump, and then at the 2 o'clock, it's Stonewall Jackson. So the order to the Democrats is find allies with good reputation within our army to support the cause. Relates to Q774. Define the following: treason, sedition, subversion, conspiracy to commit. Do you understand and fully appreciate the gravity of the situation? Sedition. The next one is investigate Trump and family over several generations. And this is, if you look at this, there's he's pointing out to the German Shepherd, and these are all the pictures of the top 200, the mighty 200, if you will. And then there's Donald Trump Jr. pictured with somebody there, one of the top 200s, a patriot. And the order here is investigate Trump's family over several generations. Find something, anything, go way back as far as needed. So Serial Brain goes to Q2586, and it says, why are new investigations by AS being started? Adam Schiff. If, as he stated for almost 2 years, evidence exists that ties POTUS to Russia, if they had evidence, do you think it would have been leaked? If they had evidence, would they be backing away, playing down the Mueller report about to be released? So that's from that one. Then you've got witchcraft. This one is President Trump with this pumpkin thing, right? One of the top 200s must love Jack, whatever. What is that movie? I can't remember. But anyways.
So you see, guys, you kind of see, guys, what this is. It's like orders. Look at this. Like they're communicating to each other on what to do here.
Yes, so this is the order on this one on the 2 o'clock. Perform witchcraft against Trump. Find the most skilled operators. Now, Serial Brain includes some of these articles. Lana Del Rey on doing witchcraft against Donald Trump. Yeah, why not? Look, I do a lot of boop. Kiwi, thank you, brother. Each month, thousands of witches cast a spell against Donald Trump. Witches reveal how to cast spells on the Trump administration. Kiwi says, put on the full armor of God, my friends. And also, Mac74 says, thank you for both of what you do. Love your passion, desire for truth, and always bring open, like you say, think for yourself. Absolutely. That's the whole goal. Think for yourself. Truth is learned, never told.
That's right. And and that's, the other thing. We love a spirited debate. Please convince me. I'm always open to be convinced. Show me something different.
Instead of me convincing you about Q, how about you convince me how it's not Q?
Convince me. Or please just give it 5. I'll give you 5 minutes to convince me that Q does not exist. It's like, go ahead. Convince me. I mean,
exists because I'm right here.
Either I'm dreaming or this is happening.
Look at these people in YouTube. Kiwi's here. Q's here. Q exists, I should say.
I just want to take just a second to thank everybody so much for the support that you've given us through through Patreon, PayPal, and the YouTube chat here. It is it's amazing. To see the support for you guys, to see that our efforts are valuable and what we're actually doing is something that you appreciate. To us, that speaks volumes. Everybody has their own path here, and Matrix and I both feel like that we have been put on a path that we were supposed to be on, and so it's really humbling to have folks that are inspired to help support the idea and the momentum.
Yes, and so we've got Patreon. That's patreon.com/inthematrix with 3 X's. That you can do a $1, $2, whatever you want. A donation is a freedom. You don't have to do anything. We've got paypal.me right there. Since I'm doxxed, that is my name. Thank you very much. But we've got that if you'd like to do it. But what I want to show you guys is that we're actually doing stuff. That's why we've got the QArmy social network. That's why we've got a website that's half decent, actually more than half decent. That's epic. I didn't want to, Shady and I just didn't want any website. And we got somebody to step up that's absolutely amazing to give what our mind sees, to give to you and us and for the future. Twitter goes down, Facebook goes down. We got QArmy social network that we are in control of. You, I, me, we the people. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. The next one, Shady, is the electromagnetic attacks, is the decode for this guy. We kind of went over this because obviously I saw that first because, I noticed my stupid avatar, right? So we got order, shoot weaponized electromagnetic waves at online Trump supporters. So if you look at that graphic, he used me and the graphic, and it's shoot electromagnetic waves on the Trump supporters. So Q774 says, discovery must be original or originate organically. Hive mind, Q. Q2468, why do the attacks come in waves? Q776, Anon asks, are Anons safe? Q says yes. And then you've got the powerful testimony of a surviving electronic harassment, V2K gang stalking from ex-military engineer up in the upper left there. Then the New York Post has the microwave, our main suspects in the attack on the U.S. diplomats in Cuba. Remember, they heard ringing or they heard noise. They used a wave. They used some sort of wave, mind wave, or something to that effect. Scalar technology. And I'm sure we'll talk to Mr. Davis soon about that. And yes, we hear you, Mr. Davis. And we were talking about that today. We'll reach out to you soon. And then Q says, finally be strong in the Lord, or excuse me, Q. Cyril Brain says, finally be strong in the Lord and his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's scheme. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Ephesians. That's also on Q 1432. That's the first time Q dropped the armor of God. Shady, do you have any comment on this slide?
Well, I think it's interesting to see as we go down through here, just so people can see and obviously serial brain. I mean, that guy is just incredible for what he sees in a lot of this stuff. But uh, talking about electromagnetic scalar waves, we went back looking through the Q post. We found scalar a couple of times in the Q post, referring to different things. I have to say, I think there's something very I think there's something a little bit different than a wall being built down there. Just kind of unusual to explain, but it does seem like this could be some type of either electromagnetic pulse protection and or maybe some sort of scalar wave protection system that's going on with it. The way the wall is emphasized over and over in the Q post and the way it's referred to makes me think that it's a little bit more than just a wall or just to keep people from walking into our country. Something else is going on with it. My mind wants to connect it to Tesla technology or something like that. So,
Yeah.
that's
Some
kind
sort
of
of like some sort of mind control technology for sure.
right.
And I know it's out there. I mean, look at all these cell phone towers. Look at the 5G, right? Is there a clean 5G like Cyril Brain was talking about? And POTUS related to 6G. So there's definitely something out there. We're going to do a little more digging because, somebody made a point in chat here and it just went by. But, obviously we've got CERN, we've got ham radio Q talked about as well. There's another, there's a bunch of things that I think I want to start digging on in regards to this. Some of the people in Patriots United, Crop and Cookie and Shady and some of us others have had some talks about it. So stay tuned. We're going to be doing a little bit more digging on that because people, he said ancient Egyptian tech, and yes, there is ancient Egyptian tech. In fact, let me go down here real quick. I just clicked that post so I can go see the comments. I mean, we got a lot here. This is the whole thing, but somebody did point out that there was this world's first regional EMF solution. This is Robin Hood Soul, And they said, what are the odds that I stumbled on an Egyptian doctor that is using the power of shapes to counteract EMF? So this is the first regional EMF solution. So I thought that was pretty interesting. If they had it back then, obviously, if it's ancient, it leads you to believe something's up. You
Well,
see what I'm
all
saying? So
well, right, but all
go
of
ahead.
it, everything that we've dug into, that goes over the history, looking back at these buildings that are built, looking back at the pyramids, looking back at all of the stuff that was actually around, thinking about the Tesla tech, talking points of energy coming through the ether, passing electricity that way. This is real technology that was really hidden, that is actually coming back to existence right now. With your awakening, this is a frequency. You are a frequency. I know you've been
Yeah.
told by all the smart people that you're matter,
We're
but
radio antennas,
you're a
guys. Yeah.
frequency. That's right. You're vibration. You are light and you are love, and that is actually not matter. So envision yourself like that, a little bit more than a solid human being walking around, and understand that how we are connected with that ancient world, and the ancient world understood electricity, and the ancient world understood vibration and frequency. You can tell by looking at what they were writing. So the stuff that's hidden is being
Yeah.
revealed, and the more people that we have digging, the faster we're going to aggregate the information to the surface.
But they're shooting weaponized electromagnetic waves at online Trump supporters. And why do attacks come in waves? Just a very interesting decode. Thank you, Serial Brain 2. I'd love to find out more about that one. Man, here we go. This is the next one. Investigate Trump and his family finances. There's Trump. And then there's the family there with, God and the flag and 4th of July. The order is investigate Trump's finance and try to crucify him and his family. Trump tax returns, House Democrats ready for ultimate fishing expedition. Democrats launch new probe of Trump's finances and Russia ties. So there's the coin, finances, there's Trump. So that's how they do it. That's how Serial Brain is doing it. So go on any one of these on that big long list, that's a big square list, and draw the 2 o'clock. See if you can get one too. Tonya Summers, thank you. And Brad, thank you very much, my brother. I appreciate that too. Um, Find intelligence on hidden MAGA supporters. This one also kind of hit a bell too, because this is interesting. This is the predator, right? It's a, what is that, a cheetah, something like that, right? Like a leopard. And then you've got the EMP intelligence net picture, and then MAGA. So it's like preying on MAGA supporters. So find more data on MAGA supporters, and Serial Brain says who are not on social media, but I think it's find more data on MAGA supporters who are on social media. People are being doxxed. I've talked to many people on the 200. They've all been. I'm not going to say they've all. Majority of a majority of them have been doxxed. Some of them are already just out there because of themselves, but just very, very, very interesting. And Serial Brain points to two Q posts, a Q post 2837. We really started something, didn't we? Well, now we know he's a bad apple. Fly Coates fly. Schiff says Dan Coates has been doing an outstanding job as director of national intelligence. He speaks truth to power and gives policymakers the best intelligence possible. He's loyal to the country and the Constitution. That is as it should be. That's shifty. Then we've got demonized MAGA, fear tactics. So you've got Make America Great Again, hashtag Patriot. Then you've got the Predator, the lion. I guess that's a leopard. It's a leopard. And then you've got the person with the red MAGA hat on, and it's the order is to attack, demonize, and unsocialize supporters displaying MAGA symbols. We played that video on the Matrix Groove Hour today, Shady, of those two boys. The one guy trying to tip the guy's hat and ripping the MAGA flag
Yep.
out of his hands.
Yeah, and,
You know,
and
that's
look, and the kind of the triggered reaction people are having. Also, I want people to think about what you've seen on Twitter, not on Facebook at all, but on Twitter, with the trains that people are doing, and the way that they're getting people into trains, and they're getting people on these block lists. And we've watched people, us in, with people in the discourse, that we've watched people create these block lists where they're going through and they're, blocking people from here, oh, get on the block list. This person is a troll. This. If they put you on a list, then block them. Well, that information that was going around 4 or 5 months ago, can kind of be, to me, Matrix. I don't know what you think about it. I kind of connect that to this, and I connect that to the way that I was talking earlier. Whenever I make a smart aleck comment to someone with a blue check mark or someone in their stream over there, I'm really not. It's being retweeted by people that are following me that see it, but it's almost like it isn't even being seen by the general public. Like somehow they've targeted people for, to have our stuff not seen by them. We can obviously see their stuff and we wouldn't know the difference. But I'm not getting the same type of, I mean, not to say I'm trying to generate anger out there, but I'm definitely trying to generate a conversation with sarcasm.
That's right. And too, Misty out there, she said that she had to resubscribe to me. Also,
Lots of people are telling me that too.
Yeah, they just DM'd me the same thing as well. And I bet if we go to my front page that I'll have to like my video again, because it just, the like just doesn't hold. And then it's 12.7. It's 13,000. Then it's 12.7 likes. It's just really weird, man. Not that it matters. It's just it matters. The censorship matters, right? So demonize MAGA, promote socialism. We've seen that over and over and over, right? So this is the I voted red, pointing to all red, and then the eagle. So voted red and then red eagle. Order is promote socialism. America must turn socialist in 2020. That's their order. Q, 1941, socialist push in U.S./worldwide. Coincidence? Global power struggle. And then we've got AOC saying, we need to invent technology that's never been invented yet. Gosh, she's so smart. Where did she come up with that?
I'm not going to comment.
Invent some technology that's never been invented yet. Are you with me? Who's with me? Press 1 if we need to do that. Come on, guys. Press 1.
Who's going to usher in the future? Is it going to be Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or Dennis Rodman? Or I'm not sure who's bringing it. Somebody's bringing it.
Right? I'm going to press 1 because I think we should invent something that's not invented yet. I think that's a great idea. All right. So we're going to, Gringo says 2. All right, Gringo, you're entitled. Conspiracy says 5. You guys rock. Rudy says 1. Okay, good. All right, so we're moving on to Unity. It's good to have a little fun here, guys. Unity. So this one is the Patriots stand together with the gentleman that says Patriots United by his hat there, if you can't see it. And then it has the rabbit. But Zero Brain 2 is pointing us to the Patriots stand together and Patriots United being unity. And the order is we must set aside our differences and remain united. And if you recall, when Pelosi and Schumer Pelosi said, our unity is our power, and maybe Trump underestimated that. Yeah, have fun with that. All right, so drugs, that's the next one. Obviously, that's like a MAGA pill kind of thing. And then just God bless her, person that just looks kind of like a wild photo. It doesn't mean that she is anything, but it's just the decode. So, don't take this the wrong way, please. But the order is, what do you think? Q post 1010. Opioids, ultimate win, death plus money. Upper right says largest fentanyl bust in U.S. history, 254 pounds seized at the Arizona border crossing in January 2019.
I mean, it's like I think people see, it's like they report that willy-nilly. It's like, you have no idea what 250 pounds of fentanyl can do.
Oh my God. Yeah. 254 pounds of fentanyl. Right. And then it's enough fentanyl to kill 32 million people seized in single New York City bus.
10% of us.
It's 32 million. Oh my, 10% of us. That is a great point, Shady. Oh my God. That's so sick to think about, isn't it?
250 pounds? Yeah.
Biowarfare. So this is a DNA biological warfare bioweapon, and it's a picture of young Trump and the Vlad the Impaler guy or some dude, right? And then the Predator again. So use our bioweapons to harm Trump and those who bio data we have. So Q post 1167. So we have iris scanners for phones. When do we prick our finger and drop blood on the home button to confirm our ID? See where this is going? Q says 23andMe and Wojcicki. Spouse, why is it relevant? Q. And then Hillary Clinton told Democrats to obtain DNA from foreign officials 8 years before Martin Shkreli posted a bounty for her hair. Just some weird, wild stuff. They want to
Just your
kill you.
normal, average, ordinary human behavior.
Yep. And 23andMe's spouse was that Sergey,
Yes.
friend from Google,
And
I
the and
believe.
Zuckerberg's wife.
Yeah. It's just crazy, guys.
And you know
So,
that just to deter right there for a second, please, everyone, if you're being offered, gifted, or handed, or curious about a 23andMe and or any type of DNA testing device that tells you your genetic, I would offer the advice to stay away from all of those things, please, because not only is the information they're giving you inaccurate, the information they're gathering on you is uh, something they cannot get any other way.
yeah. And Susan Wojcicki is the CEO of YouTube. Thank you,
And yeah,
Conspiracy.
she's not too excited about our live streams, I've noticed.
No, she loves them. She's probably
Uh,
watching right now from her little YouTube.
she's pressing the button trying to throttle us down.
I know, right?
She's like, hold the button. She's like, slow them down.
Slow them down. They don't. Let's not make them do it. We're gonna do it live anyways.
Stop the hammering.
We're doing it live.
We're gonna keep hammering them.
So this one is sabotage. Sabotage the military is the Democratic Playbook order, and if you look at the center of the 2 o'clock, that is like Chinook helicopter, along with prayer, and then somebody hidden, right? So sabotage the military. 1068, coincidence, statistically impossible. Pray, day one, Q. And then an article that says 2 soldiers killed in helicopter crash at Fort Campbell. So are they doing this kind of stuff? And remember, Q said 7 out of 10 plane crashes are,
Targeted kills.
are targeted kills. Exactly. 7 out of 10.
And that wasn't like 7 out of 10 recently. I think that he meant 7 out of 10 in general.
Yep, in general. So this one is target patriots with the legal system. So the order is use legal system to target patriots and frame them. If you look, it says you owe your kids a safe, strong America, and it's a little boy saluting the flags, along with some, like, I don't know, weird convict guy, and then Thomas Paine. And so this one is New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft charged with soliciting prostitution, predicted in Q 2843, will make the Super Bowl look like a puppy show, Q. And yeah, so that's very interesting because in Q 2869, it says, you bet Q knew Kraft was on surveillance video. Just when Kraft got all liberal in the fake news, Keck, Q, and Keck means LOL, Q. And he said, Super Bowl, winners, puppy, sex, urban dictionary, Q. So just very, very interesting. Then you've got divide the American family.
Also on that one, I wanted to interrupt you there real quick, and I wanted to bring up something for the guys out there in Q Post 2843, which was a few days, like 3 days before the whole Bob Kraft thing came out. And reading this one real quick. I'm just sorry to interrupt you there real quick. I wanted to bring this up. This one is 2843. Do I have it here? Reading this from the bottom up, listen to this. Will make the Super Bowl look like a puppy show. The fun begins directly after. Fear. Hence, why Adam Schiff, SDNY, Maxine Waters are attempting to keep the insurance scheme ongoing post Mueller. But you knew that already. So reading that from the bottom up in reference to what he's talking about, this was 3 days before the Bob Kraft story came out saying we'll make the Super Bowl look like a puppy show. The fun begins directly after. Right after that, the president's going to Vietnam. And now we've had the thing happen there. And we're back here. And what are we talking about? Adam Schiff, Southern District of New York, Maxine Waters attempting to keep the insurance scheme ongoing. So, that kind of hits right into what he was just talking about there. And the way Q is proving to you and your friends future proofs past is a great example right there. I'm back with you now.
Yeah, yeah, that was good. That's very good to read that. That made so much sense that way, Shady. Very good. Social engineering is the next one. This is dividing the family. The order is attack the American family, divide it, increase the number of taxable entities. Just because we see family people there, it looks like there's a gentleman that's taking care of his daughter, and that says Benghazi. And there's a lovely lady there, two lovely ladies at the 2 o'clock. And this is socialism, the science of maximizing how much humans are taxed collectively. So, that's what socialism is. And actually, in my thread, I goofed it up. I put the wrong thing there. But, anyways, hey, I'm not perfect. Fake news, fake news, fake news. There you've got President Trump, and you've got Snoopy and Benghazi 4, right? So there's the order is to ridicule Trump, emphasize his mistakes, and cover his actions and achievements with fake news. That's exactly what they've been doing for these how many months
The
now?
whole
2 years?
time. I mean, really, the
The whole
whole time. I
time.
mean, the first day
The whole
they were
time.
saying there wasn't anybody at the inauguration, only the next day saying he took Martin Luther King's bust out of the White House. I mean, they started
Yeah,
immediately.
the whole time. So this one is 2018 fake news stories. Here are the most erroneous fake news stories of 2018 from the Daily Caller. Fake news, intimidation, pressure, and humiliation inside Trump's 2 year war on the investigation encircling him. What are they talking about? Absolutely insane. The investigation is not. You'll see, guys. Stay tuned. This is the Stormy Daniels play. Find more women accusing Trump if you can't grow them like flowers. Look at
This
that.
is insane, man.
And this is this Q 1674 a.m. What will tomorrow be? Coordinated. What happened to Stormy? Fake news. Q. This is weaponize the judiciary system with our assets. The order in the new Democratic playbook is the judiciary system should only appear to be blind for us and our assets. It needs to see from behind our sunglasses. Okay. So this is Q Post 1351. What departments must be clean prior to receive fair and equal justice under the law? What happens if Fed criminal indictments are brought forth to a corrupt FBI, DOJ, Fed judge? And again, you see that it is the Statue of Liberty and the Justice, the Lady Justice, stopping President Trump like a stiff arm. And then you got these big sunglasses on that gentleman there, one of the proud 200 deplorables. Sanctuary cities. Here we go. So this is at the 2 o'clock in the middle. You've got I've heard God speak more clearly through horses and dogs than through men. And then the 2 o'clock is the two is pointing to it's not a sanctuary city, it's called harboring fugitives. So the order is get more sanctuary cities from conservative states. And then you see the picture of that serial brain used here. Don't mess with Texas.
And
So
all,
that's what they're to grab,
right,
guys.
and just to recognize this is whenever this first came out, we actually saw this before Q posted it, but uh, this is this is put together in this graph with these names in this clock-like formation with the original information. So it's interesting to see how Serial Brain got into there and took this apart so quickly to see that this, it wasn't a list doesn't present this, but the way that this was presented to the attackers on the other side, the socialists, they have a way to take it apart, and this is fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely. This is absolutely fascinating. I mean, this is their new. This is how they're. This one is actually what Serial Brain called this one. I actually said spiritual war, but he called it satisfy Moloch. I just thought that was a little too much, but obviously we all here know what that means. But this is spiritual war, and it's basically if you look at the beautiful family there, the little children there taking a picture for their parents, and it says pray for Trump. All we are saying is give Trump, and then you can't really see much more. But it's basically the orders are they pray for Trump, We must satisfy our divinities to increase their suggestion strength and gain more power. Q, 1964. Children are being kidnapped, tortured, raped, and sacrificed in the name of pure evil. And then if you look at the left hand side of the page, it's got the graphic of the Holy Bible, person holding that up to their forehead and contemplating or praying. And then you've got an evil entity there. And then it says Donald Trump says Democrats just voted against legislation to prevent the killing of newborn infant children. The Democrat position on abortion is now so extreme that they don't mind executing babies after birth. This will be remembered as one of the most shocking votes in the history of Congress. If there's one thing we should all agree on, it's protecting the lives of innocent babies. So that's a spiritual war right there, guys. End Planned Parenthood.
Look at how this is mapping out the whole agenda.
This is it. So this is the new playbook too. This is another one. This is one everybody's like, why is Alex Jones on there? I'm like, yeah, why is Alex Jones on there? But look at this. If you use this 2 o'clock method from Serial Brain, it points to a lady holding up her baby, and it points to InfoWars as well. And the order is support the growth of our infiltrators coming from the Democratic Party. And if you look at Q 2101, why are affiliates of InfoWars constantly attacking Q? Who is pulling the strings? Killbox, Arrows, Free Speech Systems, LLC, Q, which is InfoWars. And we basically believe it might be somebody with Moss and somebody that might be odd as well. And this is Q Post 1341. We've all been blinded too long. Alex Jones is not alt media. He's a traitor. He makes us all look crazy. Him. Time to move on. Big week ahead. And then Q links to this foxnews.com article that says Alex Jones, performance artist, attorney says Texas child custody case. So he's a performance artist.
Yeah, and he was also doing a real good job making rational people look like idiots the other day on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, he basically said we suck. Q people.
Well, yeah, not just the thing that, but he was just acting irrationally. I mean, we can't get people to pay attention to what we're saying whenever we're saying things in this irrational. He's not even listening to the person talking to him, and I think he needs to back off of the steroids out there, Alex. Whatever you're doing, man, just take a few less next week.
Dude, he's opposition, brother. That's probably who's affecting us.
I mean, just cut us a break. I know he's trying to make us look bad, but Jiminy Christmas.
He makes himself look bad. Just let him destroy himself, man.
Oh,
so this is the coin right here with Trump's head on it. I talk to QAnon. Alex, get out of here.
It's Zach.
Dude, he just busted into my room here, my office. All right, so this is the red tie, the person with the red tie here, and the Trump coin again. Pointing to USA. And this is basically the order for the new Democrat playbook order. Regain control of the stock market, disturb it. Don't let Trump politically gain from it. And now red, the gentleman with the red tie, it's called the power tie for a reason. Red is a power tie. According to Balani and what's the color of your tie? It's a power tie. Mark Woodman said so it must be. All right, so the youth and entertainment. This is a younger person, it looks like, pointing to is that Clint Eastwood? Yep. And maybe some sort of turtle thing. But the order is entertain the youth, keep their political awareness low, program them, confuse them. Students hate Trump immigration quotes, don't realize they're from Democrats, right here in the bottom right-hand corner. Up in the upper left, it says students hate Trump's State of the Union quotes until finding out they're actually Obama's. And then down below on lower left is students blame Trump for shutdown until hearing the offer he made Dems. I mean, I also was talking to our kids, and they don't even really know what, Hiroshima was or the World War II. I mean,
no,
we've got a lot. We got to teach our kids, guys. Teach your kids. Period.
You're also not teaching them to write cursive.
Yeah.
I mean, really? I'm like, well, how are you going to sign? How do you sign over your anything? I mean, think about that. What are they doing, Matrix? Are they trying to get us to where we print our name in all capital letters instead of sign things?
Yeah. X and two witnesses. Peapod says, I like Paul Joseph Watson. I do too.
Yeah.
He was always good, but he's part of a Mossad opposition agency. So
All
like
these people are going to have X amount of relative information, and then they go
yep,
X amount off the rails.
90%. Yeah, I mean, and I like to your point. I do like the way Paul Joseph Watson always wrote his articles. He said his point, linked to the point, so you could go read what he was talking about, make your own mind up. That's the whole goal. Make your own mind up. You can follow anybody,
That's right.
but you just need to make your own mind up.
Just make sure you think through completely what it is you're considering.
Right.
Don't
Don't
just
just listen.
right.
Don't be
Don't
a
just listen.
follower.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes, yes. The truth is learned. If I tell you something, go look it up, Google it. If Alex Jones tells you something, go look it up, Google it, make your own mind up. It's all that simple. If anybody tells you that, this is you. The truth to know is yours. Okay. So this is President Trump with the saluting girl from the World War II, and then declassified top secret icons here from our deplorable of the top 200 list, the mighty 200s. The order is investigate Trump's military records and attack him. It's just like this is it. So we're getting down to the last couple here. This is the vote fraud, cover up, and denial and projection. So Florida, Trump right there on the left hand. That's been vote fraud central for many, many years. And then that little baby meme, are you serious? The order is bury voter fraud and vote fraud cases, deny, project, activate think tanks to label it as a conspiracy theory. Now we've got the articles on the left here. It says the vote fraud that Democrats refuse to see. The Brennan Center says more false claims about voter fraud from the president. We'll say it again, and study after study has shown that voter fraud is vanishingly rare and voter impersonation is nearly non-existent. Brennan Center for Justice debunking voter fraud myth. Who's this Brennan? Oh my God! Like I trust that guy as far as I can throw you. Here's the last one. Shady voter fraud again. The voter fraud cover up, projection, and assistance. Did I just say that one? Oh no, yeah, this is the same one, but it's got the one girl there that's like in the shade there, like it's kind of a cool shot of that one in the middle. Then it's got the Florida Trump thing. Again, the order is bury voter fraud cases, assist our operational assets legally and with the media. So then on the left there, you've got Florida election official Brenda Snipes rescinds resignation after governor moves to immediately suspend her. And then Florida Senate rules Brenda Snipes cannot rescind her resignation. So thank God for Ron DeSantis here in Florida. Let me tell you that right now. Hip, hip, hooray, Ron. And then we've got this one. This is the Matrix Groove Hour today. We kind of went over some of this stuff. But yes, America says, don't forget about the doxing attacks. Absolutely. The doxing attacks, I did talk to some of the other 200s. I was doxed, and so were the other 200s. So,
and yes,
very.
Someone out there was asking about, there are accounts on there that have been X'd out that have already been taken down. So they're taking more down each day from what we can tell.
I think there's 38 as of the last check, according on the Serial Brain.
38 of the 200 are gone.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm still alive and kicking.
So this is something that has it has so many different angles and just amazing decode there from Serial Brain to show us all of that stuff and let us in on seeing the just fantastic. This guy he's seeing things that are very, very hard to see. So it's this guy.
Give me an SB2. Give me an SB2 for Serial Brain 2.
Literally, guys. I mean, to teach us, this guy has kind of pretty much taught us all gematria and taught us how to listen to the subtleties of the messages from the president, the capital letters leading into leading us to different clues and breaking them down. And man, it does at some point seem a little confusing, but if you pay attention to it, you can understand the point, and it more times than not it connects and hits a home run. So Hey, go study that thread there with Matrix. Make some comments. Come over there and talk and throw your opinions in on that thread. Both of us work back and forth all the time in the comment sections of the threads with people sharing things with us and us learning different things. You guys are teaching us. We're sitting here trying to keep up with what's going on, kind of holding on, if you will, as keep up as much as we can with your president, who, we have Ben Davis out there in the chat with us. Thanks, Ben, for joining us. And we did a show with him recently. If you haven't seen that, go check that out, because he breaks down this idea that the reason that the president moves so fast isn't maybe as much about having to get so much done quickly as it is about being able to stay ahead of the artificial intelligence ability to manipulate the narrative. Their ability to manipulate the narrative is the reason that we kind of stay in this spin zone. So, right, the media is taking in the information, and they manipulate the information, and they try to spin it in a way. And their idea before was that we spin it in a way to where we can ask a question. It seems like they're idiots, and it seems like we're smart. That's the way, that's the spin room, okay? So now, we're sort of, you guys, you've kind of gotten rid of the need for a spin room, sort of getting the information for yourself, deciding for yourself what you think, listening to the president tweet, you're like, man, that guy is bringing it right to him. Reason I wanted to bring that around to there is because I wanted you to see here today, 15 hours ago, tweet that your president made. Now, like I said before, we have the Q countdown 21. You post today. We'll look at that here in just a second. But I see now that the 2-year Russian collusion case has fallen apart. There was no collusion except by BYE, Crooked Hillary, and the Democrats. They say, gee, I have an idea. Let's look at Trump's finances and every deal he has ever done. Let's follow discredited Michael Cohen. And then he says, and the fraudulent and dishonest statements he made on Wednesday. No way. It's time to stop this corrupt and illegally brought witch hunt. Time to start looking at the other side where crimes were committed. Republicans have been abused long enough. Must end now. What is confusing about that? Why, A, we know that he writes to trigger the people with the TDS. B, we see that he misspells things intentionally through Serial Brain, what Matrix was breaking down. Serial Brain's been breaking down for a year now. And then watching how the subtleties tells us what it is we need to know. It's clear English. The media can't interpret this because they have no idea how to read clear English. They've been so brainwashed through the school systems and academia and trained by the programs behind the scenes. This is where they are. And like I said at the top of the show early on, if you have children out there who are in college, anywhere, I don't care where they're going, you need to be having conversations with them about your republic and why it is important and what the idea is. I'll tell you, you take 10 people and you set 10 people down that think that socialism is a great idea, and you set them down all together, and I guarantee you dollars to donuts that not 2 of them will agree about how to implement it out of 10.
Hey, Shay, who would pay for dinner?
who would do anything? I mean, like, people have this misconception, like, that socialism is somehow an opposite to capitalism. Listen, guys, this is the simplicity of it. It's not rocket science here. Capitalism means that everyone has unequal amounts of wealth. Okay? Socialism means that everyone has the same amount of wealth. None. Okay? Very, very simple. Socialism is communism for dummies. Okay? They don't understand what it is. They were not taught what it was. In my education, was not properly taught what communism was, and was not properly taught. We were taught to fear the wrong thing. We were taught to fear the Russians. Okay, like the Russian people, or that they were somehow separate from us, or
More Russians.
But it's like, now here we are. I'm freaking this old, and it's still Russia. I mean, think about this. 2.4% of the world GDP comes from Russia. Okay, so the TDS from the NPCs is just a little bit too much whenever you want to have an actual arguable debate with someone about who is the enemy here. Enemy is the person that has my secrets. The person that has my secrets is China, because the crooked Hillary gave them access, and that's what Q has shown everyone. And people out there that do not understand Q, or people out there that are wanting to say that this is this and Q is that and that, I tell you, you have no idea what we have, and you also have no idea how humble we are as a group of Anons. We're not out there shoving this stuff in every orifice of society that we have on these people. There's a reason for that, because we understand future proves past, news unlocks the map. Okay, information that we have is to be presented at a timely manner when things are going on in your real world with your president. And these two, I want you to comment about these two tweets today, Matrix. But these two tweets today really got me going, and then that led into what Q said. But I want you to talk to that for a second, if you care to.
I kind of was on the wrong page. Which one is it? The one that Q dropped today?
Well, the last one that Q dropped today was basically that. It was his, he dropped the president's tweets there and said, let's
just read them real quick, right? So this
Sure.
is the one that goes, I see now that 2-year Russian collusion case has fallen apart. So there was no collusion except by BYE in Killbox, crooked Hillary, and the Democrats that say, gee, I have an idea. Let's look at Trump's finances and every deal he has ever done. Let's follow discredited Michael Cohen. Now, look, if you remember the Democrat playbook that we just went over, I mean, kind of like a serial brain confirmation right here.
It's on the same day, Matrix. It's on the same day.
Yeah. So then it goes on to say, and the fraudulent and dishonest statements he made on Wednesday, no way it's time to stop this corrupt and illegally bought witch hunt. Time to start looking at the other side where real crimes were confirmed in the kill box. Republicans have been in the kill box abused long enough. Must end now. Carpet bombs are okay. Tactical nukes are better. -21, -20, -19, -18.
So that was Q giving us the direct comm for people who aren't seeing it. Okay, this is carpet bombs are okay, which we've been using the carpet bombs a little bit, but tactical nukes are better. 21, 20, 19, 18 minus countdown on the 18th day from the 30-day countdown that started before. So direct communications from the president. Pay attention to what he's saying. It's extremely important that you watch this man's Twitter. To anyone out there, if you do not have Twitter and you do not get on Twitter, please come over to inthematrixwith3x's.com, because we have this stuff posted there. We also have all the indictments, resignations, all of the Q clock, the maps, people, QSN, people chatting, people sharing pictures, people making groups that talk about the Constitution. I was looking at the group over there the other day. They've started a group talking about the Constitution. I mean, I just couldn't be more excited to see people excited to talk about something as awesome as the Constitution. That's what I want to see in my environment. That's who I am. That's what I'm interested in. We're interested in saving the Republic, and to save the Republic, we have to spread the information. You guys
got to know what it is too.
You got to know what it is, right? You also have to know. You also have to know how to share. So in your red pilling, and I said earlier, I've heard so many great red pilling stories. Make sure that you put people on a tear by telling them to try to red pill 4 people in a week a few times. I mean, we're gonna have to maybe get you to do that every week, because I don't know what it is. It's like you're a cheerleader, you're a good coach, whatever, man. But people are coming back to me with all these great stories. I have had so many positive responses from people that get excited whenever they red pill someone. I agree with you. It is a great experience to watch a mind wake up and the light turn on, and then to think, maybe I'll just think a little bit differently about this. So,
how many out there have red pilled some people? Put the number of people that you red pilled this weekend, or this week, excuse me.
Don't just stick a 1 up there. Give us the number.
The real number. If you've red pilled somebody, or got somebody to look at a Q post, or in the Matrix, or Shady's Twitter, or your Twitter, or Chan boards, a meme, are you getting them to think? How many people? Patty Joe says 2. David Malecki says 2.
6.
Ed Colliver says 2. Cinderella 6.
Crux says 5.
Crux.
We got a guy says 9.
Brother.
Guys, don't give me fake numbers here now. We don't need fake news.
Jason woke up in Vegas. I believe his 3. Peeped out 3. Look at this. Proud Army Mom 2.
Prof Q2. Yes. Mac 3.
Mac 3.
31. Not your
and
age.
Pet 3. Thumper Rose 3. This is good, guys. This is really good. Jojo said yes. That means 1. Jojo. Tonya Summers 2. Prof Q says lots. Good for you. J Vega 2. And I think I've read his story. He's an awesome guy, J Vega. I love that dude.
He's like a brother to me.
He is. Now, really quick, I want to just point to that Q post because of those negative numbers. So negative 21 was February 26th. Today is negative 18. Tomorrow's negative 17. So the next day will be negative 16. You get it? So 19 is 0 day. March 19 is 0 day. And 0 day is countermeasures are in place. Think emergency alert system. Think White House controlled new RT News website. Think White House controlled new video stream platform. Think here, and it could be 8chan. So that's it. Tanya Summers 3, Cupid Doll 2, Cassius 2, pending. Pending's good. Planting the seeds is good.
Seed planting is great. Little seed plantings will go a long way. Just drop it in there. It's like, what in the world is going on with this Jussie Smollett? And is he really related to Kamala Harris?
That's right. Yeah. Joanne, you can do it. It's your daughter. You've got to talk to her. Find out what she's interested in. You can do it.
And just
March Madness.
You're not gonna. You don't have to talk to someone and go grab your MAGA hat and start. Just be subtle with people. It's like, is it really what they're painting it as? Maybe you don't like Donald Trump. I respect people that do not like Donald Trump. I understand that people do not like him, but does he deserve the amount of disrespect that he is getting? And the answer to that question is not in a civil society. No, he does not. Yeah. So I wanted to.
Michael Cody, real quick. I'm sorry, Shady. Michael Cody says, "May we all become red pill dealers."
We are red pill dealers. The QSN, QArmy
red
social
pill.
Network. This is your headquarters for red pills.
Red pill for you. Red pill for everyone.
We need to get red pill Pez dispensers, Matrix.
I like that. I like that, Shady. I like it a lot. And now remember,
people out
there
don't even know what Pez is.
I know. I think we do. Come on. So basically, guys, we got Patreon, we got PayPal, we've got a website. We're bringing you the pain, guys. We're bringing you the heat. We're bringing you the research. We're bringing you the shows. We're bringing you the website. We're bringing you the social media. Without you, we couldn't do it. Thank you so much, Shady. I'm sorry. I just had to say that one more time. Thank you, Periscope. Thank you, Twitter. Thank you, brilliant Anons on the board. Thank you, board owners. Thank you, bakers. Thank you, board volunteers. Thank you, El Gringo.
Thank you. All of the great patriots from one side of the country to the other, from one side of the world to the other. We do not leave anyone out. We include everyone in the conversation. As a matter of fact, if you come over to our site, you'll notice the little chat down below. Once we start interacting with people from around the world, we can actually interpret what they're saying in private communications. So lots of fun, interesting stuff. Lots more great stuff to come. I wanted to run over a few of these other articles with you here real quick, just to show you some of
Hey, Shady, real quick. Someone's also taking the Paysur videos from the lounge that we did, and they're translating them into Spanish and other languages, man.
I saw that, yeah. And also there's people working on translating the site, too.
Wow. See, this is it. There's 977 people online right now. Thank you guys all. Make this your homepage, inthematrix3x's.com. Shady, back to you.
So, I want you to see some of this stuff that's being published out there. CNN publishes Obama's official Civil War conspiracy, calling for the military state rebellion as President Trump refuses to accept defeat after 2020. Look at the different angles. This is February 23rd that they're coming to you at. Nancy Pelosi just put up a little clip today with AOC or whoever. What would you say to Donald Trump? And Nancy Pelosi literally said, I would ask him to please not run in 2020. Well, that is just hilarious. That's not going to happen. But you're seeing this idea of a civil war people want to say that there's going to be a civil war in America. I would like to be the voice of reason that recognizes that if we have a civil war in America between the people who want to be socialist and don't own weapons and don't want anyone else to own weapons, which is the most ridiculous point of view you could possibly have, are going to create a civil war with all of us well-armed Americans who pretty much are very fluent in our firearms, when, where, and how, and what to do with them and how to defend ourselves. Not really sure that that's a narrative that you can logically think through. So, just to show you some propaganda stuff going on here in your mainstream media. Who's the boss? Cortez upstages Pelosi, warning moderate Democrats left or be put on this list. Now look at this, okay? This is news from yesterday. Who's the boss? Alexandria did a video the other day where she told people that weren't elected and that were attempting to share with her their views on different ideas that she's the boss now. Okay, so you're the boss now. Then she's taking shots at Pelosi. Then yesterday there was 26 Democrats who voted with the Republicans. I can't remember what the bill was. Catching a second, maybe, but she came out and said the people that didn't vote with her should be put on a list. Okay, what did Matrix and I just talk about with Serial Brain Decode and the 200 list and the list that all are you on? You know, realize that the top 200, okay? I said top 200 on this list. It didn't say there were 200. It didn't say top 200 out of 20,000 or however many of them that there are that they have this little graphic running for in the background. We've watched and saw how they connected all the sites and everybody to each other before. So look at this. You have the freshman representative attempting to attack the Speaker of the House and warning people that they were going to be put on a list. Well, who's got this list? I mean, I think Miss Cortez has a misunderstanding of a Twitter following and a position in our government. I would think that maybe she might have skipped some civics class out there. Google CEO defends big business amid Trump antitrust threats. This is a month and a half, 2 months ago. This is coming back around in the news. Daily Caller. This is a huge story. Judge orders the release of Christopher Steele deposition. A federal judge in Florida on Thursday ordered the release of the depositions given by former British spy Christopher Steele, longtime associate of late Republican Arizona Senator No Name, in a lawsuit filed against BuzzFeed regarding Steele's antitrust dossier. This is huge. We just saw the Washington Post today in their editorial section for the first time since the Covington incident retract that story and backtrack. Why? Because it's $250 million lawsuit coming down on them. Now, a few minutes ago I was showing you, whenever we were talking about the wall and the interesting things going on with the wall, I wanted to share with you this right here. I'm going to drop this link to you just because I want you interested in this stuff. I don't know exactly how to do it other than tell you it's interesting and pay attention to it. What are they building in Texas? I don't know, but my intuition tells me that whatever's going on down there has something to do with this border wall. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. It's just something interesting that keeps nagging at me. So I want people to be plugged into that. This is another thing Crop Duster was pointing us to earlier. Look at this. Look at that cell phone tower in there. Can you spot the cell phone tower? How many of these things do you think are going up, and how are they disguised? How hard would that be to spot in the woods? Okay, these things are going up. They're still working on stuff behind the scenes. I want you guys to be paying attention to this stuff. Important to be paying attention to this stuff. Here's another something that's important. This was brought to my attention by Jay-Z Knight earlier. Great article here talking about glyphosates being found in 19 of 20 beers and wines tested. Okay, everything has glyphosate in it. If it is being produced by a deep state manufacturer, I do not care what the label is, and this is even to do with some organic stuff out there. Glyphosates are in everything. How do we get glyphosates out of our food? Stop spraying Monsanto's Roundup on everything we eat, please. That would really go a long way for us. You got to recognize this stuff. If you want to be consuming beverages and things that have high levels of high fructose corn syrup in them, made from high fructose corn syrup, pretty much any type of mass-produced crop that is out there contains glyphosate. Why? Because they have contracts with Monsanto and they're forced to spray X amount of it on your crops every year. And then Monsanto is developing crops that aren't bug resistant, crops that are resistant to being sprayed with this garbage and can still grow when it melts everything else around it on the ground. Okay? I'm out here in Oregon. I see farming. I see what's going on out here. And let me tell you, it melts everything but whatever is resistant to it, which is developed in a lab somewhere, which then they're using as corn product to make all of this other stuff out of. Corn, grapes, wine, all this stuff. Okay, glyphosates, they're everywhere. They're in the water supply. How are we going to deal with it? We have to quit using the stuff. Walk past it on your shelf. Please do not buy Roundup. Just deal with the weeds, for crying out loud. You're poisoning our earth. You're poisoning the population. You're poisoning each other. You're poisoning your children. And there's no need for it, guys. This leads back to the same thing. What kind of deep state scam are we in? We just keep on and keep on and keep on and keep on. Just pour the poison on, and then stand around and say, well, why is everybody so sick? Because everybody's eating all this garbage. And why is everybody what's the next level of the deep state agenda, a 100-year agenda to start the American Medical Association and then to poison you, making you think things were okay to eat so you wouldn't think about what? The crap going on in your political structure, and the idea that since 1933 your gold or your money has been, from what $20 was in 1933 is now $1,400. Okay, an ounce of gold, an ounce of your wealth stolen. Your president standing there telling you they stole your wealth. What's he talking about? He's not talking about your wallet. He's talking about your wealth. He's talking about your sovereignty. He's talking about your livelihood. He's talking about your children's livelihood. He's talking about all of us. It matters. Facts matter. Wake up, America. You are QAnon. Even if your name is known, you are QAnon. Even if you don't live in America, you are QAnon. Even if you can't type on a computer, you're QAnon. It doesn't matter if you're awake, if you don't believe in Q, but you're a conspiracy person. Guess what? Still Q. Why? Because you want to question your reality. How did I get here, Matrix? How did you get here? We didn't get here because we were sitting there thinking, oh, everything just seems good. People are acting normal. We're destroying the planet by mass amounts of petroleum-based plastics whenever we could easily be making all the plastics out of hemp. You're gonna ban me from drinking out of a straw because it's made out of petroleum-based plastic when you could make the same straw out of a hemp-based material that would biodegrade in a few weeks. Okay? What is the conversation we're having here? Where are we gonna find a place? Where are we gonna find a place to start this real conversation? To start this real conversation. I'll tell you where. We're going to start it right here. We're going to start it here. We're going to start it on the website. We're going to start it in the hearts of people who want to understand their world. Just because they seem okay, that they are hypnotized, does not mean that they are okay in a hypnotized state. One doesn't equal the other. 2 + 2 is not 4 in that situation. Okay? Time to take responsibility for who we are. Time to live in the now and understand that what you consume and put on your body directly affects you. I know the system trained you otherwise. I know there's a disconnect out there. There was a disconnect from me from what I ate and how I felt. From drinking too much to not feeling good. Those things when I was younger, those were not connected. Connect them, please. Try to connect them for your friends and family. If you have folks who are having trouble with opioids and addiction and those things, you are not going to help them by hammering them. Just because you're scared, remember they're addicted. If you're addicted, I promise you, you're more scared than the person who is scared for you. That's how you got there. See them like that, please. Look at them like that, please. And can we look at the other side? Can we look at the left a little like that as well? Like the person that's hurt, injured, scared, abused, sad, sick. Do not hate on other people. Do not be angry at other people. That is not your job. It is not going to get us, Q, the president, anywhere. Hate is hate is hate is hate. If you want to combat a person who hates the president by hating their position, you're wrong. You combat a person that hates the president by loving the idea that we have the freedom to choose what we want to think. And if you want to take the initiative to be irritated at someone, then it's your responsibility to take the initiative to speak to them politely. And I know Twitter is a little bit different, and I'm more so talking about your friends and family, because I like to get in there on Twitter just like everybody else and be fun and sarcastic and make points and be, push the boundaries here and there. We're all doing it. It's good for the discussion. It does help the discussion, but I'm being really serious here. If we're going to fix the problem, then the problem's got to start being fixed now. And I really want you guys to share that. I want you guys to share my voice with other people. I'm not talking in terms here that cannot be understood by people who dislike the president. People that dislike the president can listen to me talk and understand that I'm a rational human being. And they can listen to Matrix talk, and they can understand that he's a rational human being. You send them to one of our shows randomly, the Tory Says show or the Jimmy Church show, where we're interacting with people that don't understand this stuff. And we're standing up for you. Every appearance that we're going on, and you listen to any of them, the haters can hate. The idea that I'm bringing a simplified message to the masses that says Q is real. Q is represented by millions, and I mean millions, of liberty-loving, freedom-loving human beings out there all over the planet. And we've got the information. It's not a joke. It's not a game. It's not a facade. It's not a LARP. It's our livelihood. It's our sovereignty. It's our future. It's your children's future. It's Matrix's children's future. His grandkids. All of us together. Q, this means more than you know, and it does. We have so much time ahead of us of winning, but the time that we're in now is critical to be compassionate to people who you disagree with. And that is so important. And that is one thing that I feel like our movement needs to refocus on, all of us. In whatever creative content you're doing out there, whatever you're bringing to the conversation, recognize we are the patriots who are fighting the American Revolution against an enemy that is not your friends and family that disagree with you. It's a Luciferian cabal that has manipulated the monetary currency of the entire planet and monetized it for the destruction and the usurpation of its resources so that they can have it, and you are not allowed to it. That's what's going on in our world. That's the truth that the people on TV and suits and ties won't tell you. That's the truth that Matrix and I plan on bringing to you in a raw form, in a way that's understandable, so that in the future, when we're talking to people, you're going to hear us saying the same things over and over and over again if you listen to all of our stuff out there. The message isn't going to change. The message isn't for the people who we've already talked to either. The message is for the new people coming to the voice. That is what our vision was. That is what we wanted to see. That is what we could see other people weren't thinking about. And it makes all of it comes into play. All of it. The health, the secret space program, the aliens, what's going on in Antarctica, what's going on in the Mueller investigation, what's going on at the border, what's going on in North Korea. Same. What's going on in DARPA, what's going on in Google, what's going on in Amazon, what's going on in your deep state, what's going on in the cabal. Same. Clear line. All of us. Find your compassion from within. And we can all see that. We can all see that clearly. But remember, it's tough for others to see. It really is. And so with that long diatribe, Matrix, I am going to maybe start to wrap it up here a little bit. I have a video of a new video from JT Wild that he did that he would like for it to become the intro.
I want your guys' input. So this could become, right, Shady? This could become the new intro for the Matrix Groove Hour. Let's Shady play it, and we'll let the crowd decide.
Okay, so you got to give them the rating. What do they have to do out there? You have to tell them what to do.
Wow.
They're gonna have like 1 is for, 2 is against. How do we set this up here? I mean, I think they're gonna love it, but you got to give them clear rules, or they'll get confused and they'll be putting nines up there.
So picture yourself in our afternoon shows. This song comes on. It will be our opening. 1 for yes, 2 for now. Shady, hit it.
All right, here we go.
And we love the name. Got the bodies in the dirt, needing someone to blame. A batch of greed and money to spare. They put the dollars in the coffers and the lies in the air. Where we go one, we go all. I won't push you down, you won't let me fall. One day for sure we will stand tall. Where we go one, we go all. Trust the plan because we have it all, and that fate is in our hands. Had a reason to fool us, but we didn't take the bait. Wanna take us to hell, but we got guns at the gate. Where we go one, we go all. I won't push you down, you won't let me fall. One day for sure we will stand tall. Where we go one.
How did we do out there? I think we got a lot of ones, Matrix. I don't know about you. I saw a lot of ones rolling by. JT, you are amazing. This stuff is just so good, brother.
That was absolutely amazing. I think I saw a lot of ones out there too, Shady.
A lot of ones, Matrix. A lot of winning happening out there for you. I think we're getting ready to roll out of here. Give them something, man.
Yeah, thank you guys very much, Shady. Thank you. YouTube, Periscope, Twitter. God bless you all. Thank you very much. It's been a busy, busy week. I worked very hard for this movement myself, more importantly, because this is so important to me. So important. So important. I'm glad you guys share this same fervor for the movement. Thank you very much. God bless. Shady. Take them out.
Guys, what a week it has been. I hope that you understand that you win in the end. This is so amazing, so fun, so attractive for people who can understand what it means to become one again with Patriots, communicate with people that have one thing in mind, looking for freedom, looking for sovereignty, looking for liberty, looking for justice, looking for just a little bit of justice. Because once you get some, you just can't get enough of it. And now that we got people in there that can deliver some pain, we're all sitting on the edge of our seats just waiting for it to come down the pike. Guys, I want to thank you so much for joining me. I really enjoy being here. I really enjoy hanging out with my great friend at In the Matrix. If you are not following him on Twitter, it's In the Matrix with 3 X's. If you're not following me, it's Shady Groove with 3 O's on Twitter. So happy to see so many great Patriots out there. We're at a website, inthematrixwith3x's.com. Come over there, follow us, like our stuff, like your friends' stuff, find other people to follow. Get involved in the conversation. I'm telling you, it's a fun conversation, and I'm telling you, your friends are going to enjoy it as well. But please, feel free to post in the YouTube comments below. If someone asks you a question, please don't hesitate to answer them if you know the answer, and if not, please direct them to somebody that just might know. The moderators out there are amazing, and you can connect with them, and they're never, ever, ever going to lead you astray. But we are here to spread the notion that there is a clear line between truth and the lie. And the lie is that they are the global elite. The truth is you are the global elite. Americans, freedom-loving Americans are the global elite. Please go out there. Find other great citizen journalists to follow. Jordan Say, The Praying Medics, Serial Brain 2, iPod, SGT Report, We the People Insider, Neon Revolt, Joe M, Stormy Patriot Joe, Jody Iceman James, Lisa Mae Crowley, Corticon, Dustin Nemo's Blue Eyes with the songs. Oh my goodness, JT, just heard him there. Wow. X22 Report, Anon Decoder is another person I want you to follow. Blessed to Teach. Lionel Media, Soylent Green was in the house tonight. Thanks for joining us. So many beautiful Anons. I can't possibly name them all here. But one thing I can say is that every single one of them is amazing in their own way. And we all have something that maybe somebody else don't have. But you all have the desire to live in freedom. That's what we're fighting for, ladies and gentlemen. Please check us out next week on the Matrix Groove Hour. And this is Shady Groove. This has been the Q Lounge Live. And you guys have a glorious weekend and expect to win some more next week. Good night, my brothers and sisters.